My co-founder and I, we've been working on our startup for the last 20 months. We've had 2 pivots. We were building 2 different products, maybe even 3. We were jumping from one stage to another, trying to fundraise all this time, hiring and firing people, interns, working with different types of clients, and it all came down to one simple roadmap that we actually found how it works. We were trying to jump from one stage to another, trying to first get the money from investors, then build the product, then find clients. But then we realized, okay, it's actually not how it works. Investors want all the way around. And the most investors that I've met with, especially the pre-seed ones, which is kind of interesting, pre-seed investors already expect you to have sales. Last time I checked, pre-seed means that you just basically have a team and an idea, but apparently not anymore. And anyways, it's been a really tough journey, and there are definitely things that I would do differently that make these 20 months that we secured the pre-seed, we've got the grants, we are now working with large multi-billion-dollar companies to develop our software for them. And there are things that I would do differently to speed up the process and make it simpler. I would skip some things. I wouldn't waste time on them. I would do them differently, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. If you don't know me, I'm the CEO and co-founder of an AI company. We'll do AI for exposing fake news. We basically verify information across the whole internet and social media, and we provide it to media companies like BBC and Associated Press. Really cool, big problem, which is also something to consider, because before that we started doing AI assistants for virtual work, and now you can imagine there are a lot of them. People don't want to be a part of small shit. So if you, especially working in the world of startups, investors look to invest into unicorn companies, something that solves a really huge problem. So that's what they're interested in. And I actually wrote here what you need, which is the framework that actually got us where we wanted to. So we tried to jump from stages. So first we started looking for pre-seed and seed, because as the CEO, my job is to find money from investors, always to fundraise. But damn, that's just not how it works, You just can't come to someone and ask them for $1 million and expect them to give it to you without sales, without product being fully ready. They expect you to solve a problem already on your own, and then they give you money to speed up your process, which is also another interesting thing. There are a lot of companies that got a lot of money just because they worked in some cool company, so they have a lot of industry experience. For example, Ilya Sutskever, he left OpenAI and just made a landing page of a super safe superintelligence and got $1 billion in financing, which is insane. But hey, that's how things work apparently. So if you don't have that kind of privilege that you worked in OpenAI, that you were an executive, then you left the company, and then you're valued at multi-billion, gazillion dollars, then yeah, this is something you should look into, because that worked for us, honestly. So the first thing to consider is the team, which is not supposed to be more than 4 people. Because if you don't have experience, if you're a student, or a young guy or girl like me, right? I don't have any experience in media. So how am I supposed to convince investors that, hey, we're working with large media companies, they trust me, they use our product, so please give me $1 million. So how the hell do you prove that? They want to see some industry experience for them to understand that, hey, all right, you have some experience, maybe you understand something. They don't care that maybe I've talked to a lot of people, maybe I've maybe I have advisors in my team who really help me out with this. They don't care about that. So if you don't have that experience, especially, it makes sense to get someone who fills the gap in your skill set. So for example, my friend and I, we are both engineers. We graduated with engineering degrees, and he's a great programmer. I didn't like programming. I'm good with Python, but I honestly didn't like programming. So he was always the one who takes care of the product. Still, he is the one who's taking care of the product. I'm more on the sales and marketing side. And yet, we also needed some more programming people to help with the development of the main software, of the prototype, the minimum viable product to ship to our pilot customers. So we needed a lot of work to get done. I quickly took a bunch of courses from Stanford, MIT, you know the online free courses, yeah, that kind. And I learned all of that in a few weeks, and I started coding more in Python, and I was scraping the data, analyzing, creating the data set, and doing all of that. And so there are two of us, but yet we're doing AI, and makes sense that we would have some AI engineer or data scientist who has a lot of experience with AI. So we hired someone to fill the gap, and we did that fairly later. Well, actually, we just did it recently, so we should have done it months ago, a year ago. We got a CMO with also great marketing sales skills. So now there are 4 people in our core team. We're trying to get a lot of advisors on board. We're trying to fill the gaps with interns, trying to outsource. But in the end, just get yourself a good team. We were thinking that, okay, we'll get the money, we'll just hire later some good employees. But no. Just get yourself someone good on your team, but make sure that you really need them. And that will also help you with fundraising too. All right, that's one thing. Another thing, second, pilot customers. So that is kind of like stage by stage what we did and what we should have done, especially because like I said, we've been jumping. But the next thing that I would do is find pilot customers. And how would I find them? Definitely not cold emailing or cold calling, because damn, that's just a waste of time at this stage. So it's pilot customers through network. We didn't know anyone in media industry, but then I met a guy who was literally boss in the media industry, and he worked in the media industry for decades, and he knew a lot of people in BBC, in New York Times, and a lot of media companies. So naturally, he gave me a lot of contacts who I should call, just mention my name, and that landed me a lot of meetings, and that turned into pilot customers. So we started piloting with them, and they started giving us feedback, and we started developing the product exactly how they wanted. So that was great, and that was huge help. So that's also something that went in our pitch deck, and we started talking to our investors and saying, hey, we have these pilot customers, they're working with us, they're giving us feedback, all cool. That also ensures that we are establishing that product market fit, that we're not just developing something and then turns out that actually no one needs it. And that's kind of also the third step, which is develop the prototype for the pilot customers. That means developing for free, giving them for free to try, giving them as a pilot period, sign the letter of intent, LOI, which is also investors are very interested to see. It's actually super easy. You just prepare a document, 1 page, called a letter of intent. You can Google it. Basically a non-binding agreement that you ask your pilot customers to sign, and then you show it to investors and say, hey, they express the interest into using our software, even though it's free and they're not literally obligated to anything. But still, investors care about that, apparently. And that also helps. And then the fourth step, the next thing that I would do is now I would focus on searching for small pre-seed or getting grants. But mostly, look, there are a lot of pre-seed funds that first check funds give you 100K with just like an idea. There's no startup that is too early. All of that kind of bullshit. Don't believe that shit. They don't invest like that. They will just waste your time. So yeah, friends, family, fools. Just find the money like that. Actually, how we did, so we got a grant from Finnish government, like 60,000 euros, and we needed like another 50,000 to get it. So we got it like from a family. And yeah, that helped us to get later other money, so that helped us. Also, another cool thing to consider, accelerator. All right, don't go to any bullshit incubators where you have to pay for them. We almost got sued for that one because we were late on payments. And choose a good accelerator with good sort of reputation, because we went to a new accelerator. It was a great accelerator, a lot of cool mentorship and a lot of cool people we met, but they didn't have money. Okay, I don't know if they still don't, but we didn't get money. KickAss MVP. Finally, you got some money coming in. Now you can build the actual good minimum viable product that then you can sell to your pilot customers or even find more leads. And only then, when you got some sales, you actually got a really cool product. So you got the actual visible traction, both in funding, both with clients. So there's clear product market fit because you've talked to customers, they're buying your product that you've built for them. Now you can get a really cool seed at a really good valuation. That is essentially what I would do, and that is what we did, basically. We just were jumping around roadmap because, well, we're trying to figure things out. But yeah, to be fair, startup journey is never linear like that. Even though you have this kind of nice step-by-step roadmap, I guarantee it will not go like that. But that 20 months of work could have been easy 5 months, maybe 6 months. I'm not talking about the development of the product. It's still pain in the ass and still takes a lot of time to develop it. But that would save me some time on running between different investors and taking pointless meetings, wasting time on bullshit conferences, spending money on incubator that almost sued me. Those are the kind of things I would do differently. And those are the things that wouldn't waste my time, and I could actually focus on sales, well, making kick-ass content, and just building up the team, take care of my people, and also building connections with good investors who actually understand the business and the field I'm in, and who will actually invest. Because I've also spent time on investors who didn't have money. Also something to learn from. All right, I hope it helps. Good luck.